This is my Thai girlfriend horror story. It was love at first sight when I saw her in the airport. I'd traveled to Thailand for an all-inclusive resort trip with my best friend, but within seconds of stepping off the plane, my eyes locked onto this cute Thai girl walking in front of me. She was talking to a guy, but I didn't care. The moment I saw her, I knew she was going to be my wife one day, and I made it my mission to make that happen during the flight over. I went on Tinder and Instagram to try to find her, but no luck. I figured I'd never see her again, so I gave up. Then, bam, there she was. We lock eyes, and I felt my heart skip a beat. I couldn't look away. The second time when we lock eyes, I was like, I gotta talk to this girl. But then the girl he was with looked over at me and it made me nervous and I stopped myself. Once we got through immigration, I finally worked up the courage to approach her. Hi, excuse me, are you Jane? She was wearing the same shirt she had on in the plane, so I recognized her right away. She said, yes. Is there a problem? I lied and said, oh no, I just think you look like someone I know. Nice seeing you again. I tried to get closer to her and she backed away from me. I could tell she wasn't buying my lie, but I had to do it because I wasn't going to let some random Thai dude take my chance with her. We exchanged numbers, and I was on cloud 9. Back at the hotel, I was so excited to see Jane again, but I couldn't stop thinking about how she had a boyfriend, and how I had lied to her to try to break them up. It was eating me up inside, but then I convinced myself that this was fate and she was meant to be with me. The next day we decided to go to the Grand Palace in Bangkok. As we were taking photos, I started asking her questions about her boyfriend. She said they'd been together for 2 years, but that she wasn't happy, and that he was controlling and jealous. I could tell there was more there, but she didn't want to talk about it. After we toured the palace, we took a boat ride around the canals, and this is when things started to get real. Between the swaying of the boat and the humid heat, I started feeling sick to my stomach. Suddenly, I started sweating and felt like I was going into anaphylactic shock. My throat started closing up and I couldn't breathe. I asked Jane if she could take me back to the hotel because I wasn't feeling well. She agreed, but she didn't seem concerned or ask what was wrong. Maybe she just thought I was getting a bit too much sun. I don't know. When I got back to the hotel, I laid down and tried to sleep it off. But the more I rested, the worse I felt. Then my eyes popped open when I realized what was happening. I wasn't getting a reaction. I was having a panic attack. And since Jane left, I was alone. I tried to convince myself it was just anxiety. I called the hotel's emergency line and explained my symptoms. They told me to come down to the lobby where an ambulance would meet me. When they arrived, I got in and they drove me to the nearest hospital. The whole time I kept thinking, why did I have a panic attack? Is it the girl I like? Is she in danger? What if I die and she never knows how much I loved her? These thoughts raced through my mind over and over until I got to the hospital. At the clinic, they hooked me up to an IV and gave me medication to calm down. They also checked my blood pressure and told me it was dangerously high. I remember being scared and ashamed for needing help. I felt so embarrassed. How could I act so strong in front of Jane and then have a total meltdown behind her back? It was humiliating. They kept me overnight for observation, and the next morning I was released with a clean bill of health. I called Jane to let her know I was okay, but she didn't pick up. I tried again, but still no answer. Then I sent her a message saying, hey, I'm feeling better now. Want to hang out later? I didn't get a reply for hours. Then I got a call from her. She sounded angry. What did you do to me? Why did you cause me to have a panic attack yesterday? I was shocked, but I didn't do anything. You had a panic attack at the hospital. Are you crazy? You're crazy. Don't act like you don't know what you did. Why would I have a panic attack unless something happened? Nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Please explain yourself. You almost killed me yesterday. You're a murderer. I still didn't know what she was talking about, but I could hear the fear in her voice. So I tried to calm her down. Jane, I swear I didn't do anything. Can we please talk about this in person? No, I don't want to talk to you ever again. Goodbye. And then she hung up. I didn't understand what I did wrong. All I wanted was to get to know her. So I decided to visit her house. Her mom opened the door and I explained that I was here to see Jane. She invited me in and offered me water. Then she asked me why I was really there. She told me that Jane had been acting strange lately and hadn't left her room for days. I'm worried about her. Do you know what's going on? I explained everything that had happened, including the panic attack. Mrs. John listened intently. When I finished, she thanked me for telling her and invited me to sit down for dinner. She cooked us both food and we ate in silence. I was nervous. I didn't know if she thought I did something to her daughter. Was she going to call the police? After dinner, I told her, "Ma'am, if you think I did something wrong, please call the police. I'll go willingly." She looked at me and said, You didn't do anything wrong. It's me. I've been hiding something from you, and now it's time for Jane to move on. She explained that Jane had been dating a married man, and even though their relationship was over, Jane couldn't let go. She was depressed and wouldn't leave her room. Mrs. John begged me to help her daughter. She needs a friend right now. I agreed and gave her my word. Then Mrs. John led me to a room at the end of the hallway. She knocked 3 times and opened the door. Jane, can you come out now? Your friend is here. I was shocked when I saw the most beautiful girl standing in front of me. It was Jane, but she wasn't the same girl I met at the airport. This one was prettier. She wore revealing clothes and makeup that made her look older. In that moment, I realized what I was up against. I knew I couldn't compare to the guy she had been with. He probably showered her with gifts and took her to fancy places while I couldn't afford a single thing. How could I make her fall in love with me? I didn't have any money, no luxury car, and no expensive watch to impress her. The only thing I had was my charm. So I turned it on and smiled at her. Jane, Mrs. John told me to come help you because you've been feeling down lately. Oh, it's nothing. I'm just tired. Then she headed back to her bed and lay down. I sat next to her and asked, do you need anything? She shook her head. No, I'm fine. I stayed quiet for a bit until I heard her sniffling. I turned to her and asked, are you crying? No, I'm just tired. Then she rolled over and closed her eyes. I didn't know what to do, so I left after a few minutes. Mrs. John stopped me before I could leave. She pulled me aside and whispered, Jane has been through a lot. Please be patient with her. It will take time. Then she handed me her phone and said, here, call me if Jane needs anything. The next day, I messaged Jane to see if she wanted to get lunch. She said yes, and we decided to meet at a nearby restaurant. When I got there, she was already sitting at a table waiting for me. She looked sad. We ordered food and talked about our lives. She told me she was going through a rough time and didn't feel like doing much. I listened and nodded, trying to be supportive. After lunch, I walked her back to her house. We said goodbye, but she stopped me. Come inside for a while. My mom wants to see you. She led me into the living room where her mom sat. Thank you for looking after my daughter. She needs friends like you who care about her. I blushed and thanked her for the compliment. After spending more time together, Jane seemed happier. She started coming out of her room more often, and we became good friends. I liked her a lot, but I knew it would take time before she was ready for a relationship. So I waited patiently by her side, hoping one day she'd become my girlfriend. But that was not the case.